We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Baby. Welcome to San Diego Sports Junkies, a show for fans by the fans. I'm your host, Josh Taylor, with Justin Smead.
It's good to be back, Josh. You can also follow us on Twitter, at San Diego Sports Junkies. Check us out at our actual website now, sdsportsjunkies.net, and like us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/sdsportsjunkies.
So let's dive right into the action, man. It's been a long time since you and I have been doing some shows, and we're going to start doing this, try to do it every week, if not more often, but, do follow in on our Facebook page, our Twitter account, on our website. We're going to post the podcast up there after every show, so you can always listen in if you can't watch it live. Chargers versus Cardinals, preseason week 3. Things to watch for, in my opinion, first and foremost, the offense getting into the end zone.
Yeah, that's one of the keys to winning a football game. We got to get in the end zone. For me, Josh, got to get the ball, progress over half. Get it past the midfield. Let's see some consecutive plays with positive yardage. I don't need to see any of these 2-yard dinkers. I want to see the ball go downfield. We haven't seen Phillip actually open up a little bit here to the receiving core yet. Market, they have been injured, but let's see the ball go downfield, maybe a little Gates action. Let's get Keenan Allen a little more big play threat type of thing. Let's see how that works, and maybe those are the kinds of things we need to look out for. Maybe a little Ryan Matthews too. Maybe more carries for him in this ball game. Absolutely,
and obviously DJ Fluker, have him advance. Obviously, he's done really well on the run block, but I want to see him improve each and every week on the pass protection.
Right.
But with that said, his run blocking skills with Hardwick, with Clary
over there on the right side,
with who's the big man at left tackle?
We got left tackle. We got Max Starks and King Dunlap. They're fighting for that first starting spot.
Max Starks, in my opinion, over the last couple games I've seen him play, King Dunlap is our number one at this point.
Which is bad to say, because we don't know if King can do it either, because he's been struggling a little bit. He's been better than Max Starks has, but do we really know what we have in our left tackle? And that's a big question mark for the Bolts this season.
No, it is a question mark, but at the same time, I think I have seen some positive things out of him, and our run game, in my opinion, has improved. Ryan Matthews has looked very well. Fuzzy Whitaker has looked well.
Little Fozzie Whitaker action.
And we got Danny Woodhead returning.
Well, that's going to be a key, too. It's going to be real interesting Saturday night when we see Danny Woodhead out on the field. I was just listening to a local affiliate today saying they heard comments when Danny was out there saying, I just can't cover this guy. And that's exciting to me. A lot of guys throughout the league say Danny Woodhead's one of the slippery kind of backs that you can't just get your hands on. Great for Phillip in that third down kind of role. I can't wait to see what he's going to do for us in this offense, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people are they're saying he's a lot like Darren Sproles.
Right.
And the fact that he's low behind the offensive lineman, he's hard to detect. Like you said, he went out in the open, he makes people miss.
Right.
He has great catching skills.
Right.
And I think he's going to be a vast improvement to the offense. Ronnie Brown, he did well last year.
He did.
He's going to be in the mix as well. They're probably going to move him and Danny Woodhead in and out, but I think Danny Woodhead is going to share a lot of time with Ryan Matthews.
Right, and I really am intrigued about our running backs this year. You said it earlier. Ronnie Brown, I think they kept the best out of the two. I liked Jackie Battle last year. He was a great goal line kind of runner. But I like what Ronnie Brown can do for you in the open space, catching footballs. This is a three-headed monster that can actually line up at receiver in a slot formation. Anything you want, just like Woodhead did in New England for Tom Brady, was his go-to security blanket at times. Going to be a really great key position to keep your eye on heading into the season.
Absolutely. Other things that we need to look into week 3 is minimizing our turnovers and obviously avoiding the injury bug.
Yes, injury bug. I don't know, from the Padres and the Chargers, I don't know what's in the water in San Diego this year. Already we've got massive injuries to linebackers, wide receiving core. We've had some lineman issues this year already, and the season hasn't even begun yet, Josh. So lots to be concerned about heading into the year, but hopefully these guys are resting up a little bit, getting their nicks all healed up, and hopefully we're about full strength when we head into the season against Monday Night Football against the Texans.
Well, I think that's their whole plan too. I mean, you look at Eddie Royal, Manti Te'o.
Wow.
They've really been holding these guys back.
Yep.
And not putting them in there too soon, because realistically the preseason is for the backups.
Right.
It's for the second teams. It's for the rookies trying to make the team, these unsigned free agents. It's really, the preseason is really for these guys. We know what we have out of Royal. We know what we have out of Manti Te'o and what he's shown at the collegiate level.
Right.
I still want to see him get out there
Right.
and face the big boys.
Right, and you bring up a great topic, because it's letting you see some of these other Charger players that we haven't got to see very much. Mike Willie, I like Mike Willie. I think he's fast. I think he's kind of a mid-range slot type of receiver. Guys like that. Running back Fozzie Whitaker, like you mentioned earlier, he can play. A lot of people at Chargers camp their heads are turning because of this kid. There's a lot of interest in some of these guys that can make a mark here going into the season, and maybe some of these injuries give them an opportunity to be on a 53-man roster.
Absolutely. Turnovers, we haven't really touched on that as much, but it's been something that's really hurt us in the last couple years. Mm-hmm. Phillip Rivers has been subject to a lot of turnovers, whether it's fumbling the ball, throwing interceptions at the worst possible time. Right. I think the offensive line improvement will help with that. We really need to cut down the turnovers, even special teams.
Right.
Dropping special teams kickoffs, and if we give our offense, or I should say the opposing team's offense, a short field,
right,
it's going to lead to disaster.
Oh, and you saw it last year. I mean, we didn't give our defense an opportunity to make plays, and what you're seeing, the Bears game totally mystified me. It was like night and day from the game one previously against Seattle. The special teams looked horrid. It looked terrible, and you cannot play that way heading into the season. Granted, there wasn't a lot of starters in there that would normally play on special teams, but you don't want your special teams playing like that heading into the season. And giving a short field to your offense is a key. I mean, we used to have one of the best return games in all of football, and that would give Phillip and company room, a little more room to get down the field quicker, set up for field goals, and now we're just not seeing that as much in the past 2 to 3 years with the Chargers. So turnovers play a big part. Hopefully the line can find a way to gel and get healthy, get these guys going, and just keep them upright so he can make the plays he needs to make.
So with that, stay on topic with special teams, who do you think is going to be the return guy? Is it going to be Keenan Allen? Is it going to be Danny Woodhead, or is there somebody else?
Well, keep in mind Eddie Royal too. If he can ever get back healthy, he's in the mix as well. There's a couple guys. Richard Goodman. You're just from Richard Goodman so far this year. I haven't seen what I've normally seen out of him. It's smart with the ball, catching it high and getting low. I've seen some really poor decision-making on his part, where he had a couple creases he could have gone through, and he just didn't make it happen like previous years. So that's going to be, like we said earlier, this is a lot of positions, Josh, up for grabs this season. So going into these last 2 preseason games, let's see who really stands out and grabs them, and 53-man roster's coming up real quick. So
yeah, and this is a crucial one, as you will see. Every preseason is crucial for if you're not a starter,
right?
Because you have to fight each and every day at every position to make this team. And
right.
Mike McCoy going into the season said, it's open. It's open for everybody.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Brad Sorensen end up being the number 2 over Clipboard Jesus.
We hope.
But these are the type of things that you see.
Right.
Clipboard Jesus may have obvious experience, but from what I've seen with Brad Sorensen, I think his arm strength, his ability to get outside the pocket,
right.
his mobility, I think those are things that Mike McCoy likes, and that's why we drafted him.
Right, and you hit it on the head. Some of these guys are playing for roster spots, and they're putting themselves on film as well for other teams to look at as well once they become a free agent if they're cut. So there's a lot on the line for a lot of these players, and Sorensen's been a huge bright spot for me. He looks comfortable in the pocket. He looks good so far with what he's ran. I'm sure he doesn't know the whole playbook yet. Like all the players, it's a first-year system, but he's really stood out. Clipboard Jesus, yeah, he's been in the league a while. He had his opportunity to start in Seattle. I'm not a big fan, I never really have been. You can blame his bad start against Seattle or his second-string start the other night on poor line play. You could blame it on that, but you know what? I blame it on bad decision-making. So a lot of positions up for grabs. Let's see who these guys really are going in the next couple games.
Absolutely. Another thing to watch out for is our front seven defensively. For the most part, they've shown some glimmer. You have Freeney blowing up the line, getting to the quarterback.
Man, he looks fast.
Butler getting out there, getting a pick six, not a pick six, but getting an interception out there.
Right.
Jarrett Johnson coming off the side looks very good. I really like our front seven. I wish Manti Te'o was in there so you can see the whole picture of what we're going to look like. But maybe that gives the defense something to plan for because they don't know what we're going to get out of Manti Te'o moving forward.
Right, and you hit it again. The defense for me is going to be one of the bright spots this year. Very underrated defense, I think, coming in. It's my opinion only, but a lot of first, second, third-year guys in the corner position, safety positions. Brandon Taylor's finally healthy. Maybe he'll get back on the field this week. I don't know if it's going to be that quick. Linebacking core is solid, I think, even with Melvin Ingram out. 3 or 4 guys are solid, then you get in your depth, not as solid. Front 4, front 3, Freeney, Cam Thomas, Legit, and Reyes. Guys that are just been talked about all preseason, going to make some noise and get into the backfield and cause some turmoil for the quarterback and the run game against opposing opponents. So real stoked about that for me, and I can't wait to see the full complement of our defense out there healthy with a good Weddle, and it's just going to be fun to watch. That's going to be my favorite part of the year going forward.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm glad you brought up Ingram because at the beginning of the season, he got hurt even before we could even get to preseason week 1. And Kevin Acey just reported in the UT that there's a good chance with the advancement in ACL surgeries that we could see him this year.
Yeah, and what a great thing that would be if he's fully healthy and ready to come back. I for one have had a torn ACL. I know how it feels. It sucks. It took me 6-7 months till I fully felt like my knee was even close to being stable. So I can only imagine what they're doing to knees now. But I'm very happy to hear that because once in there, you saw at the end of last season, he was causing some havoc in backfields. He was actually getting to the quarterback. He wasn't getting a whole lot of sacks, but he was causing some chaos, and that would be just one more guy to add to Freeney, Reyes, Legit. Those guys are going to cause massive destruction this year. So hopefully you get the full complement back, like Josh said, and we'll see how it goes going forward.
Absolutely, guys. I want to play a little clip for you really quick. It's Mike McCoy kind of giving a brief little speak up of Week 3 and what he's looking forward to. So let's dive into this and hear him out.
Hey, Coach, coming into this game, what are you looking to see as far as the development is concerned with your team?
Well, I think the most important thing every week we play during the preseason and even during the season is to improve. As an entire football team, as a coaching staff, as an organization, you want to see make sure the guys aren't making the same mistakes they've made the last couple of weeks, or something that's happened in practice that everyone may not see, that we've made a correction, whether it's a check on defense, a certain scheme on offense, or playing the special teams, that, hey, we've corrected mistakes. We've got to move on, because now you're in the point in time getting closer to the season, and you don't have time, to correct. You can't make these mistakes anymore because it's going to hurt you on game day. So you can't wait 4 or 5 days to correct those things. So if we correct it on the practice field or in the first quarter of the game, we got to make sure everyone's paying attention so that the next time it comes up in the game, we hit it in the mouth.
Yeah, and he hits it right on the head, like you keep saying, is we can't keep making these mistakes. No. We have to learn from these mistakes, and we need to improve and move on, and whether that's at game time and practice.
Right. Making those corrections.
It has to be a serious thing for these guys to want to do, to need to do in order for this team to compete and to improve moving forward.
Definitely, Josh. And like we said earlier, this is a young roster. They did a lot of turnover last year on defense and special teams. We don't have a lot of the same faces back this year, so they are going to have to be kind of patient with some of these guys. They're not going to come in and just rattle off, touchdowns and sacks and interceptions. It doesn't work that way in the NFL. It's a big discrepancy between college and pros, so they understand that. They're going to have to be a little patient, but from the veteran guys, you don't need to see any mistakes. You need to see a smooth running offense and defensive signal calling. Heading and like McCoy said, heading into the season, you just can't have any of those mistakes happen.
And the thing that I like about McCoy, for one, he really knows how to motivate his guys. From what I've been hearing from all the players really like him. And he's got a lot of high praise throughout the league. I'm really excited to see him this year and see how he's going to improve this team, see how this team is going to gel together. There's a lot of excitement right now. Obviously, like everybody says, this time of year, we're a Super Bowl competitor right now.
Everybody is. Everybody thinks they are anyway. In no way, shape, or form do I think we're headed to the Super Bowl this year. I'm sorry to disappoint all the Bolts fans. I hope that we go to the playoffs. I really do, and I hope we make a little noise. That would be satisfying to me. But no way are we a Super Bowl team unless we're one of those surprise teams where everything just gels together. As far as McCoy goes, I'm on the same boat, man. I'm so excited about his fire, his leadership, his no-nonsense type of attitude. He doesn't take any slack from anyone. You work and you earn everything that you get on the field. You earn your starts. You earn credibility through playing. So that's what's key to me for a new coach coming in with a mindset and attitude and a new game plan. I'm really, really excited about Mike McCoy and future prospects of what's going to happen with this football team.
Absolutely. I want to jump into this new segment that we're going to have. It's Thunderstruck, our Bolt predictions. So let's dive right into this. So going into week 3, Justin, what is your Bolt prediction?
Bolt prediction for the game. I'll give you a score first, and then I'll give you a little rundown of what I think is going to happen. I'll do 24-17 Chargers. I don't know why. We just need to get a win. I think Phillip will play a lot more football. The starters will, I should say. Heading into the second half, hopefully mid-third quarter, they get pulled somewhere in there. I want to see some crisp offense. I want to see no turnovers, obviously. We don't want to see turnovers. I want to see the special teams do some things. I want to see some good returns. I want to see good kick coverage. I need to see some coverage downfield to make me happy going into the final 4th game and heading into the year. Defensively, I'd like to see a couple quarterback sacks from Dwight Freeney, Legent and company, Reyes, those kind of things. I want to see positive, uplifting things because week 2 against the Bears, there weren't many bright spots, to be honest with you. Ryan Matthews was a bright spot. I want to see him run the rock a little bit harder this game too. I want to see him 7 to 8 carries. I want to see 50 to 60 yards, maybe a TD. So get down in that red zone and punch it in.
Yeah, I'm on your page. We need a W. I'm thinking in the neighborhood of 30 to 24. I guess as a fan, I'm hoping a lot of that comes from our first team offense.
Right.
It's nice to see our backup score, but I really want to see our first team offense get in the gold zone and get in the end zone. The other things that I want to see, I want to see more Vincent Brown. We've been really talking about him and his ability to run routes, his catching abilities, his speed. I really want to see him get into the mix and make some big plays. I want to see Ryan Matthews continue to improve. Fozzie Whitaker, I'm really excited to see his improvement as well. I think he's one of these guys that could sneak into a roster spot for sure. The other thing I want to see is defensively, our cornerbacks. Want to see them really be able to handle Larry Fitzgerald. He's going to be a big test,
Tough
and
assignment.
I think it's a good assignment for us in week 3. And obviously, I want to see us limit the turnovers.
Right. No, and another guy we would like to see, I know we talked about it before the show, Danny Woodhead, and during the show. Just good to see a spark, maybe, like a Sproles type. Maybe a guy that can make people miss in the open field. That's going to be I'm really anxious to see what he can do for us and the kind of presence he can bring to our lineup.
Absolutely. Hey guys, we're going to be working on this every week, and obviously we're going to improve. Got a new podcast system we're working with, so hopefully we'll intertwine some of your phone calls, your tweets. We thank you for listening in each and every week. We also have a shout out to our sponsor,
SK Digital. It's a printing company from our good friend Sean K. He owns the company. Good friend of ours, sponsoring the show. So SK Digital, hit him up online for any of your printing needs. We'd like to thank you guys for bearing with us, getting back into our full go with the show. We're going to try to do one every week, if not more, if we have spare time. We know everybody doesn't have time to listen to podcasts, but you can always download them, and we'll be putting them on our website at www.sdsportsjunkies.net. We'll be on Facebook, like we said at the beginning, facebook.com/SDSportsJunkies, and also at Twitter. You can follow us at SDSportsJunkies. So we thank you guys very much. We're gonna keep doing this full blow, and we're happy to have your support again. And SD Sports Junkies are back, baby.
Absolutely. Hey, we're a show for fans, by the fans, and we are signing out.
Peace.